All right. Is this working? All right. Let's see. All right, I think I'm up. All right, what's going on, folks? It's Chris here, Better Investing. Today is December 31st, 2025, last day of the year, right? I did not trade yesterday. As I talked about the prior day, I traded Tesla options, which actually, I mean, those things are probably well over a grand now. But I haven't traded options since that was my first time breaking, my rule. I implemented that rule after Friday, September 12th, and I've been option free since, right? And you know, uh, Monday I caught myself, trading that options, trading those options. And yeah, I made money, but I told myself that you broke your rule, you got to go in timeout, right? And the reason that I kind of like didn't want to trade, yesterday, I wanted to kind of, refocus my discipline that hey, options is not something that I want to do anymore. I just want to directly trade shares. So, yeah, so I took yesterday off. I did check in because I did have Dell. I still have Dell. I shooted up here against 128.88. My stop is 130. This is working for me. I did peel off a little bit today. I want to see if I can get to the bottom of this range, right around here, around this 200 day, around 122. I think it's a good move for me. So something I'm watching. All right, but I don't have a lot of time because I got to go pick up the kids. But let's go look at the market real fast. So SPY, we can go take a look real fast at buy SPY. We'll just look at some daily charts, keep it like that. But SPY, whatever this decides to load up, right? SPY kind of a, I wouldn't say a wedge drop, right? But yeah, kind of a wedge drop through the EMAs, through the EMA 9. I wouldn't say they're curling down. I mean, this is a holiday session, right? So you got to take that into context. Really, nothing too nothing too. I don't want to say this. Like, it's not really that bearish. The one thing that I do want to kind of draw your attention to, though, really, is this QQQ, and there's a good trader out there. I think it's Jay Shapiro, if I say his name right. He's been talking about the disconnection between QQQ and SPY. And you can really see that on the chart that it's going to be hard for the market really to probably go higher, leg higher. If QQQ can't kind of get out of this, this downtrend, right, and not lead the market a little bit higher. For the most part, QQQ hasn't made a high since beginning of November, right? It's kind of lagging SPY. So for the most part, like a lot of your tech stocks are not really, pushing higher. I guess you can make that assumption, right? Right. We still got this sequence of low high. You still have this bear gap up here. Right. We're still kind of not out of the fences yet. So while SPY looks well, you do have to look at QQQ and have a little bit of like scratch your head moment. Um, Looking here at IWM, I'm trying to think where all time highs is at. I think this is all time highs. I can't 100% recall, but right, but we kind of broke out, made a new high in December, kind of rolling back over here at the 50-day moving average. Um, Honestly, again, one of those situations like, well, what's going on here? Like, what are we going higher or are we going lower? Right, so. A little interesting there. I'm not going to look at Dow Jones or anything. We'll just look at some of the big stocks. So Tesla, um, with Tesla, um, with Tesla, the one thing I was talking about was like, I was pretty bullish on Tesla this ride up right back here, like after it made its higher low, and I think I joined in on here at around 411, got a nice move again. Intraday trader, right, using directional uh, type of price action, kind of get my thoughts and stuff like that. But this area here, I mean, it's after the fact. It's definitely hindsight. But this sideways action here, I was talking about like this is probably going to be classified as some sort of distribution that was occurring up here. Now I think I tried to long it here or here. I can't 100% remember, but I did get a nice little bounce on this. I think it was this day. I think it was Friday, and I wasn't going to swing those overnight over the weekend. One, because it didn't get too far away from my cost basis. My cost basis when I entered this trade was around 474. Got a nice move up to about 479.80. Came back, broke a little trend line that I had set for intraday. I got out the rest, and it closed near or well below, or about very very close to my entry, and that was the issue I had. Right? Again, I like to see my stocks move away from my cost basis, not come back. right? If I haven't, if I haven't got stopped out, right? I don't want to see it get too close to my price action. But now, after that, you got that continuation to the downside. I mean, the best thing we can hope for on Tesla, I mean, they probably have delivery news and looking at some of the Chinese EV stocks, like how they played out. The best thing you can look for maybe is an undercut of the 50, right? Do something like that, put in a higher low, right, and then blast back through the 50. I don't 100% know really, right? Because then it's gonna probably have that look of, um, no, and this is where it's gonna be like, well, is this gonna be like a bear flag look, right? If we do something like this, right, and you're gonna struggle trying to figure out, is this a bear flag or is this a higher low type of thing. Not 100% sure, but we'll just have to see what we get with price action. What time is it? It is 3:45. All right, I got about 5 more minutes. But yeah, really, that's really about it. No, the hood. I was talking about this hood, and you're gonna miss more, and you're gonna miss more setups than you can actually take. This one is actually played out, for um, its projected move, I would say. Based on the pattern I was looking at. That's not hood, so let's bring up HOOD. Right, so this hood, like what I was talking about here, that it's kind of this wedging up. You can kind of see it here, wedging up, right? You had this, this rejection here at the EMAs, right? And it kind of laid back down to this downside again. It's all about risk to reward, right? Some people were saying like this can go higher. I was saying, well, that's what makes markets, right? Someone seeing something else, and another person is seeing something else. But overall, I mean, this is not a bad trade. And where you put your stop at for this to kind of make sense, I think you probably have to play around with it. I wish it didn't gap down that day. I did see an opportunity to get short on it. I did not take it that day. Holiday season. You hate to see things set up around there, but then that was a solid looking trade. Outside of that, honestly, don't really have too much to go over. We'll see what we do beginning of next year. How the market plays out. Yeah, I mean that's really about it. I mean, we can go quickly, just take a look real fast at Bitcoin. Um, right, Bitcoin still can't kind of get out of its own, can't get out of its way. I mean, it's just, I mean, is this isn't bullish action for Bitcoin. I'd say Bitcoin definitely respects technicals a lot more, you'll see, than like indices and stuff. Right now, I mean, this thing just hasn't gotten out its own way. I mean, right now, I mean, it's just nasty. Just there's no bid there. So yeah, just that's really about it. The silver trade. We'll go take a look at SLV real fast. What time is it? All right, got about 5 more minutes. SLV. I was talking about this. Like, if you're trying to catch this move, if you're trying to short this, I mean, trying to short it, up here. Even this day was hard, but you probably can look for like the backside of the move. You gotta be mindful. It isn't a strong uptrend, right? So, a lot of times, you get these strong uptrends. They do kind of, get buyers again. Not necessarily really a good trade here at all. I mean, you had, it got bought up, it gapped up, but it did kind of give you that sequence where I was talking about. You just look for a lower high. Didn't really give it to you like from a intraday perspective, but I did have this $70 location, target. I mean, on it yesterday. But again, I wasn't trading, so I just kind of left it alone. But I did kind of like that look that it gave. I think it's up here. It's really like, right here. You can kind of see it. Right, just kind of just trading sideways. You just have a really like easily defined level. Right, you can risk the top of that candle, right, 20 cents or so for intraday move, or right, you can risk up to the highs, right, 75 cents, right, for a move. And right, this definitely played out. Now, if you look at it, it's down here at a, damn, I mean, where is this at now? It's at $64. So I mean, in terms of risk to reward, it was just a good opportunity if you were looking here, right, looking for opportunity, to kind of take this short. Yeah, market's still shitty. That's my tick alerts. And that was a funny thing. We didn't get no tick alerts all week. Then we got some today. Right, like I said, risking about 70 cents or so. Say right there. I mean, this right here was a 2-to-1 risk to reward. back down into these previous, these lows here, and down here is just, looking at a 5, 6 type of remore. And it's interesting that you kind of see that because I did take MU. I covered up the rest today. I was just looking at SMH, right? I had SMH on my screen. I kind of see SMH breaking down, making new lows. And again, not the same type of pattern that you see on silver, but you kind of see the level that it's holding, right? And this is a candle that I got short on around here. Entered, peeled some off down here, then I peeled off the rest down here. But yeah, that's all for me, folks. Today is the last day of the year, so this is a good time if you haven't already, do your recap, and let's go from there. Peace. God bless.